Micah Parsons is legitimately one of the best football players I have ever seen play, period. He is literally faster than Justin Jefferson and Saquon Barkley. He's quicker than every receiver he guards, and he's stronger than almost every offensive lineman he battles in the trenches. After just 1 year in the NFL, there is nobody else I could comp him to other than one Lawrence Taylor, arguably the greatest football player in NFL history. After winning Rookie of the Year with 84 tackles, 20 for a loss, and 13 sacks, he's now already at 17 sacks, which is the record through 18 games. Parsons has his eyes set on the next level, Defensive Player of the Year, and I'm here right now to tell you why he's well on his way to winning it. But before I do, I'm going to thank the sponsor for this week's episode, who's once again Mojo, a sports stock market that lets you invest in the careers of athletes. On Mojo, just like a real stock, each player has a stock price that rises and falls in real time based on-field performance, news, and market sentiment. Based on that number, you can buy low or sell high based on how you think your guy will perform in the future. Honestly, it's incredible. Mojo's published guaranteed payout formula is based on objective stats, so nothing's left to chance or anything like that, and you can hold your favorite player's stock for a day, week, year, or longer. Believe it or not, Mojo isn't just an in-season app. You can buy, trade, or hold your player's stocks literally 365 all year long. Mojo is available in New Jersey on iOS, and by just downloading the app, you will get your first stock free worth up to $10,000. Must be 21 or older and physically located in New Jersey to trade on Mojo. Have a gambling problem? Help is available at 1-800-GAMBLER. So what makes Parsons so unique is that he can play all over the field. Offenses try and fail to attack him in space by getting him on a running back, and Dan Quinn can flip him from the right edge to the left edge to create mismatches on the outside, where I believe he's at his most effective. This year, despite being 20th in pass rush attempts, he leads the league with 19 pressures and is tied for the lead with 4 sacks, and here's how he does it. Parsons' entire game plan is all about using his electric 4.36 speed to attack the half man, where he splits the lineman in half and attacks just that side. He knows using his 245-pound frame to smash into 320-pound offensive linemen isn't gonna consistently get the job done, so by attacking the half man, the lineman won't be able to use all of his strength. Attacking the tackle's half man with speed is where his game begins, because off of that speed, everything else he does becomes absolutely deadly. He has one of the fastest get-off times according to next-gen stats, and linemen are absolutely terrified of his, let me say it again, 4.36 speed just torching them around the edge. This is 8-year veteran Donovan Smith taking one kick step, saying, "Holy crap," just throws himself into Parsons with no technique whatsoever, purely hoping to salvage any kind of pass protection, and Parsons just absorbs his blow because he's so bendy and knocks down the Brady brand CEO. Then, having showed Smith he's capable of tearing up the field like frickin' lightning, naturally Smith is gonna try and cut off that angle no matter what, cause whoa, that speed is crazy. But this gives Parsons the inside with Smith throwing himself so heavily out, and boom, he hits him with the spin move. It's mighty sexy, but what I want to focus on is 2 things: the path he takes and the slight shimmy he gives to manipulate Smith. This whole move works because Parsons is tearing ass straight upfield outside to scare Smith into thinking he's going back there, and watch his shoulders closely with the slight little move he gives for that extra bit of oomph. Once he commits his shoulders outside, look how his spine is facing directly up the field. The ones on his back are literally straight, and with that, Smith just has to commit to the speed rush. He has to, but then, boom. Every guy in the league tries to attack the half man. Parsons hasn't unearthed some wild new trick, but something that is super unique to him is how he's basically attacking linemen like a wide receiver would a cornerback. The sheer athleticism and ability it takes to move like a receiver at his weight is simply unfair. This looks like Stephon Diggs or Jamar Chase getting into a split release, then giving themselves a two-way go. When these guys are isolated on cornerbacks, they're at their best when they can set them up and freeze them, then go either in or out with impunity. Well, that's what Parsons can do, but at freaking 245. You can see him get to that same split release and sell that outside speed move with just his little shoulder shimmy. And because of the sheer panic induced from his speed move, all A.L. Collins can do is yank him to the ground. You can tell Parsons is really reacting and not pre-planning any of his moves, because on the very next snap, he uses the same exact one. He starts with the speed move to attack Collins' half-man, and this is exactly what receivers do when selling the top of their route. He commits his hips up the field, Collins just totally and utterly takes the bait. In fact, he's so sure Parsons is going upfield he completely turns his body, which leads to a hit on the quarterback. I have legit never seen one defender terrorize one tackle this badly in a single game, and I've never seen a tackle this scared of somebody's speed. This is now from earlier in the game, where Collins is trying to jump Parsons by getting a quick hand on him to control him, to stop him from using that speed to get around the outside. But since Parsons is reactionary, he gets his foot down a little quicker when he sees Collins has stopped his feet. When linemen stop their feet to punch, that's when you counter, since they can't move. Parsons comes back inside so fast, Collins flops around like a fish, like he has all game. What makes me really excited about Parsons is that his technique, so far, isn't actually that good, which shows just how much higher his ceiling really is. I think he has a lot to learn about proper hand placement, and since he's so good at setting up defenders cause they're so scared of his speed, he could really capitalize on how off balance they are by using better technique. Here is some more Collins abuse where Parsons does still finish with the sack, but believe it or not, I think he can be even more efficient. The speed move when he actually threatens the edge gets Collins to commit outside and shoot his hands. Parsons uses his shimmy to stop Collins' momentum just a tick, so he's a little out of position when Parsons gets to the spot, so now he's a little off balance and leaning. Parsons tries to swipe his hands to the inside so he can dip around the edge, but he doesn't quite contact the elbow or wrist like this move is intended to, but his arm still finds Collins' shoulder, and he uses raw Superman-ass strength to push him away literally so hard, Collins almost comes back into position to make a play. But still, the bad man finishes with the sack. Even on the reps where he isn't using the best technique, each play still ends up on his highlight reel. If you want to see what an offensive lineman looks like when he's straight up guessing what's about to happen, well, watch this footwork right here. Parsons wants the edge and gives a little shimmy inside. The shimmy is so devastating, but also so subtle, and it keeps Jonah Williams off balance and a little too far inside. Parsons goes to use a club rip, where he'll club the outside shoulder with his right to soften the edge, then use an upwards rip with his left to finish the job. And while it does end up working, there's still room for him to be even more efficient. He gets caught at the top a bit because he doesn't quite reset his hips towards his target. The true technicians like the Nick Bosas or Myles Garretts do whatever they can to get their inside leg through to reset their hips to the quarterback. But when Parsons tries to, he instead gets slowed up a bit since here he can't do it. But none of that seems to matter since he can just completely power Williams away and bend down to steal the edge. You can see what happens when he tries the same move later against Williams, where he shimmies inside to set up Williams out, but then can't quite get his hands where he wants them with the club rip. Does a better job of getting his inside leg through, but still could be better, and this time he can't quite make the play. I'm only showing these not because I'm worried about him in any way, but just because I'm so excited by how much better he can be, and despite this, he has already shown flashes of great technique. This is what I call a power to speed move. We've talked about speed to power plenty on this channel, where the pass rusher starts with the speed move to get the tackle to overextend outside off balance, then you turn upfield and hit him when he's not ready. But Parsons does the opposite. He is so quick, fast, and powerful, he threatens power first, then turns it into speed. Josh Wells is kicking outside, but when Parsons gives him a full sell like it's a power bull rush, Wells starts to punch, realizes he's screwed, and watch this time Parsons' inside leg carry all the way through. He comes out of his burst way cleaner and smoother and gives Wells less of a surface area to push on. And man, just look at the bend around the edge. In just Micah Parsons' second game ever, he was pushed into defensive end duty when DeMarcus Lawrence was injured. And ever since then, he's simply broken records while not even playing there exclusively. This man is so fast, so strong, and so gifted, he's all but mastered a position that he wasn't even originally intended to play full-time. Many players struggle to even be good at one position, but Parsons has already way excelled above expectation at multiple. He's already won Defensive Rookie of the Year, and now he's well on his way to becoming the Defensive Player of the Year, the very best in the entire NFL. And in my opinion, we are seeing something special just beginning to blossom. Lawrence Taylor walked so Micah Parsons could run. He could very well be one of the best premier players in the entire league, and with the Cowboys desperately in need for their defense to step up, he is here to run your ass over.